Alpha.
This video will outline the advantages of using Sony's E-mount lenses together with cameras to enhance your video shooting experience. Focus, zoom, image stabilization, iris control. As you will see, Sony has unique advantages in these four important areas. By the end of this video, you will see how the combination of Sony's E-mount lenses with cameras can greatly improve your video shooting experience. Let's start with focus. There are four distinct points where Sony's E-mount lenses can offer clear benefits in this area: autofocus, manual focus during autofocus, and focus breathing compensation. These days, autofocus in video shooting is more important than ever before. With advancements in technology, the number of scenes that depend on a reliable autofocus has increased dramatically. Shooting in high-resolution 4K is now the industry standard. Expression with extremely shallow depth of field, created with full-frame cameras with large aperture prime lenses. Slow-motion footage by shooting at a high frame rate of, for example, 120p. And remote shooting. In situations where gimbals and drones are used, where the manual focus ring is beyond the operator's reach. Conventional focus systems force the videographers to stop down the aperture to avoid the subject being out of focus, but also limit the expression of bokeh effects. Under conditions such as these, achieving optimal focus has been a challenge for conventional mirrorless system lenses, but not anymore. Sony lenses are engineered with the latest technology to overcome these obstacles. Let's see how they differ from conventional lenses. A professional cinematographer will shoot in all these situations and give us his opinion.
My name is Carlos Toraya. I'm a cinematographer, doing mostly commercial work, and I've been doing it over 10 years.
Shooting in 4K, 120p, with a larger aperture, f1.4 lens using a gimbal. The videographer will move along changing the distance from the subject using eye autofocus, and the camera is the Alpha 7S Mark III. This is footage shot with a conventional 35mm f1.4 lens. Please watch the dancer's eye to gauge the accuracy of the eye autofocus. Notice how the autofocus in this footage is unstable, drifting in and out. This is footage shot with the same camera using the Sony 35mm f1.4 G Master. Please watch the dancer's eye again to gauge the accuracy of the eye autofocus. The focus is stable and remains without losing the eye. The ability to maintain accurate and stable autofocus, even under these extremely challenging conditions, is evidence of how well autofocus will perform in a wide range of scenarios. This is because the lens incorporates focus actuators, which are highly responsive to the autofocus calculations on the camera. The combination of Sony's E-mount cameras and lenses, which employ the latest autofocus actuators, can deliver this level of focus accuracy under these circumstances.
I don't often use the autofocus feature because there are a lot of situations in which I need to pull my own focus, but with the Sony and body lens combination, the focus is so precise that I can, for example, shoot at 4K at 120 frames per second, which is generally a situation in which it's very difficult to achieve good focus.
Having a reliable autofocus also means less people required to operate it, allowing for scaled-down crews or even solo production. Now, let's turn to the benefits when shooting with manual focus, which is crucial when you want to shift focus at a particular speed with high repeatability. Rack focus, for example, is an effective way to guide the eyes of the viewers within the frame. Sony's E-mount lenses offer a feature called linear response manual focus to assist in achieving accurate and smooth focus control. The feature is intuitive, and it delivers more responsive operation of the focus ring, with responsiveness compared to that of some mirrorless system lenses without this feature. Let's compare lenses without and with linear response manual focus and see just how useful it is when shifting focus from a subject close to the lens to another that's further away. Using a lens without linear response manual focus, the focal point shifts depending on rotation speed of the focus ring. As you can see, even if the ring returns to its original position, the focus doesn't return. This is because the rotation speed differed when it started to be turned and when it came back. High repeatability is crucial in serious video shooting, and using manual focus from conventional mirrorless lenses might be challenging in such situations. Now, let's look at Sony's E-mount lenses that support linear response manual focus. Here, the focal point moves based on how far the ring is physically turned. In other words, the angle of rotation. This makes it easier to control the focal point in a linear manner and return it precisely to its original position, leading to high repeatability. Now, let's turn to manual focus during autofocus, which is called AF assist. With this feature, you can use manual focus during autofocus, allowing for greater flexibility when changing subjects. When you're shooting moving subjects with autofocus, it is also possible to change the focus target by touching the LCD screen. However, there are situations where touching the LCD screen might limit the videographer's mobility and operability. In addition, with this AF assist, you can use manual focus during autofocus instantly by rotating the focus ring at the intended speed. The moment you stop rotating the focus ring, the camera will resume autofocus and continue to track the new subject. This feature allows you to shift the focus on the intended target manually, while using the autofocus to track moving subjects.
This feature is great because it allows me to keep the precision and flexibility of the automatic focus, while at the same time maintaining the control that I get from the manual focus, such as the speed of the focus and the subject that I want in focus.
The final area of focusing is the breathing compensation feature, available on the latest alpha model camera. Perhaps you've noticed times where the angle of view shifts while shifting the focus. This is called focus breathing. The latest alpha model camera incorporates a feature that minimizes focus breathing. This is accomplished by calculating the amount of adjustment needed for compatible Sony E-mount lenses in real time. Let's compare the results when breathing compensation is turned off and on. When turned off, the angle of view wobbles depending on where the point of focus is. However, with the feature on, you can see that focus breathing is minimized and the entire image is stable to ensure videographers have the expression they intended.
This feature is very useful because it allows me to minimize the focus breathing that occurs in situations that require it.
Sony offers some lenses equipped with the power zoom for video shooting. With power zoom lenses, zoom operation is electronically supported to provide superior control. One example is when you want extremely slow zoom at a steady speed, which is difficult to achieve with a non-power zoom lens. As you can see here, slow zoom at a fixed speed can move in close to the actor's face.
In filmmaking, we often use camera moves such as pans and tilts, but sometimes we also want to use zooms to convey some expressions. It's often very difficult for a single operator to have a constant zoom speed while just using the zoom ring. So with the Sony Power Zoom, it is very easy for an operator to achieve a constant zoom speed, and I think it's great that Sony has a power zoom in its lineup.
The third area where Sony gives you an advantage is stabilization. Since the release of the Alpha 7S Mark III, active mode optical image stabilization has become a crucial feature supporting solo shoots. In general, it provides greater flexibility in video shooting, reducing the need for large equipment. Of course, active mode works with any lens that's compatible with Sony's E-mount cameras. However, Sony's E-mount lenses are optimally designed to maximize stabilization performance. This is because the camera knows every inch of Sony's E-mount lens optical design. Let's see the comparison. This level of compensation can only be achieved because Sony lenses were designed to work perfectly with Sony camera bodies. The cameras know the precise optical performance of Sony's E-mount lenses, which leads the stabilization performance to its maximum.
Usually in video production, we have to use a lot of large gear, such as gimbals that are quite heavy and we have to calibrate to achieve stabilization. But with the combination of the Sony camera and the lens that has the built-in stabilization, we're able to achieve great results without having to use that large equipment.
Finally, let's look at the advantages of using Sony lenses in the area of iris control. The latest Sony lenses are equipped with an aperture ring and an aperture click switch, offering seamless iris control for video shooting. The aperture ring provides the immediate response that videographers need. In addition, the aperture click on-off switch allows the aperture ring click stops to disengage, which the ring moves smoothly and quietly, providing seamless, non-step silent control if you prefer. The non-step silent controls shine when the camera is equipped with an electronic variable ND filter. Used together, the aperture can be changed smoothly while maintaining the same brightness adjusted by the variable ND filter. As you see by keeping an eye on the background, the bokeh effect changes while keeping the image brightness. This gives videographers an easy, flexible way to shoot, with a smooth transition of depth of field, while reducing the cost of purchasing additional special gear.
The variable ND in the body and the clickless iris on the lens allow for effects such as a depth of field transition, which is a very difficult effect to achieve without this combination.
The benefits of Sony lenses go beyond just their features. The size and design of the lenses have also been tailored to complement the camera bodies. Sony has been constantly working to make both camera bodies and lenses as compact as possible to provide videographers with more mobility and flexibility. All the benefits we've been describing, relating to focus, zoom, stabilization, and iris control, have been achieved and maximized thanks to the combination of the camera and Sony's E-mount lenses. Cameras and lenses designed to work together to perform at their fullest. This has only been realized because they were designed by Sony. Sony will continue striving to create new shooting styles, features, workflows, and means of visual expression, overturning the common sense methods of video shooting in the past.